Happy Halloween! And good morning everyone, it's Celestie-Lou here. Embarking on this Inktober journey has been so much fun, and it's been awesome to see artists push themselves to do what they can this month. I know I've learned a lot this month, and I'd like to share that with you all. So let's get into the final Inktober. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone. There has been so much support and encouragement to keep making drawings every day and the corresponding videos. This was a major challenge for me as I've never been able to finish Inktober in its entirety before. It's such an awesome feeling to be done and finished and able to look at 31 ink drawings. And seeing my main crew come to life on the screen and having all of you love them means so much to me. So get ready to see more of them in the upcoming videos. As for the things I've learned, it's quite a bit actually. The first is what I already did, and that was planning what I was going to draw. I have a monthly agenda to track what drawings need to get done by what days, so I wrote out who I was drawing, doing what, and on which days. I planned Inktober about the 20th of September, around there at least. That was probably the one thing that kept me sane this month. Especially at the beginning of the month when I had a few other projects to do that were unrelated to this. The next thing was just how long it took to make a drawing and then the video. Before starting this, it took me on average about 45 minutes to an hour to sketch and line one full body character. As of now, it only takes me between 30 to 45 minutes. Which is awesome, because I have a lot of drawing I do with the comic, and the faster I draw, the more panels I can make in a day. Scripting and editing definitely took the most amount of time when I was making the videos. For these videos, though this one is an exception, it took me about 2.5 to 3 hours from the moment my stylus started moving to when the video was posted to YouTube. I found it was less stressful to draw and script each drawing the night before, and in the morning record the voiceover and edit it. It was a good warm-up for the day and got me into a productive mindset, and I found that I got much more done in a day during this month than I do when I have so much time to finish something. The next thing was learning what I need to learn. I noticed a few things I need to work on in my drawings. Dragon anatomy, male anatomy, foreshortening, and sitting and laying down poses. Dragon anatomy because right now, Amaya does not look very intimidating, which for the moment is fine, as she's still basically a baby dragon, but once she's an adult, puppy paws aren't going to suit her very well. I more need a refresher on male anatomy than anything, as I noticed Preston and Michael sometimes looks like they have no muscle on them, which isn't true. So maybe it's more accurate to say I need to practice muscles instead of just all-around male anatomy. Foreshortening. It's easy to imagine characters moving in a 2D plane of existence, but when they reach out toward the camera, forcing a 3D perspective, my brain pretty much error codes at this point in time. I suspect it's why sitting and laying down poses are so strange to me, because there's a lot of foreshortening happening. It's all about practice. Because of the comic, I've gotten very good at face-on, 3/4, and profile views of characters waist up. Anything else throws my brain for a loop for a minute until I figure it out. I'd like to be able to expand my repertoire of drawing skills so I can continue to improve for as long as I live. The final thing that was really driven home was just how much I rely on color, and that's not a bad thing. But more than just what color palette does each character have, the silhouette of each character is just as important. Currently, I'm a little bit stuck on hairstyles that are pretty similar to each other, and I don't do that intentionally. Even though now I can't change the design of the island characters that are already regulars in the comic, I can improve for the next characters coming up and the new characters for the new webcomic. Yes, that's right, another webcomic. I'll talk about it in tomorrow's video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Anyway, back to colors. My process for shading pretty much any item of clothing is the same, even if it's different fabric types. Which isn't that great, especially if I wanted to draw, say, Raylin with her leather jacket, denim jeans, and a white t-shirt. Yeah, I'm calling myself out right now because that's currently what Raylin is wearing in the comic. And now, on to the drawing. I knew pretty quickly what I wanted to do with Andy and Amaya. Preston was also pretty quick, but not quite as instant as those two. I honestly couldn't think of anything for Days and Michael until I was starting sketching. That is, until I started thinking of a reason for all of them to be dressed in Halloween costumes. That's another thing that I really learned. More about myself, really. I get far more connected to ideas and concepts if I can tell a story about it. So there's a backstory behind this drawing. On Halloween night, every year, the seniors at their school put together a haunted house for the rest of the students and the general public. Since there's students as young as 7 at their school, the haunted house is honestly pretty tame, more focusing on cool costumes and fun jump scares over gore and actual fear. Still, the seniors working in the haunted house are allowed to keep their weapons on them in case they need them for self-defense, but nothing has happened in the years they've done this. So, here's the crew in costume for their haunted house. Wait, I can hear you guys through the video. There's still more video left? Oh, that's right! See, for the last day of Inktober, I will do something different than I had for the rest of the month. One year I did only drawings from the waist up, so on the last day I did a full body, that kind of thing. This year, I colored the whole thing. I used really simple shading. Honestly, I just used the gradient tool. I was getting pretty tired and my hand was starting to get a little sore thanks to the bones on Andy and Amaya. The crew's costumes are: Michael is an enthusiastic pumpkin-headed chef, Daziel is an angel, Andy and Amaya are skeletons, and Preston is a ghost butler. So color was a bit necessary today. It was really fun coloring the bones on Andy and Amaya. I mixed their skin color with a very dark gray and a very light gray so that the bones that were painted right on their skin was an off-white and an off-black in color. I did the same for Preston, just mixed a blue color and a lighter version of his skin tone. I think Andy and Amaya turned out awesome. Preston's face paint kind of gets the idea across, but I could do better next time I have something to do like this. My favorite by far is Andy and Amaya, despite them causing my hand to get sore. As for the haunted house, this year for them was insanely busy. It's to be expected when the whole state knows there's Dragon Masters in this class. The school was smart, and they were expecting a lot of people this year, so they had a few seniors in costume running around outside with hot chocolate and other goodies. Daziel was one of these students, hence why she's dressed as an angel. Though they probably weren't expecting as many people as there was, so near the end of the night, they gave some people front-of-line tickets and told them that they'll do it again the next night. They announced it on social media, and more people came the next night too. It was a good move on the school's part, as at the end of night 2, the line was naturally fading out. The seniors were also very strategic with where they placed Preston, Andy, and Amaya, putting them at the end of the haunted house. About every 30 minutes or so, Amaya would fly out to the line of people, which kept excitement high as people waited. I'd like to think that on one of these outings, one of Daziel's favorite songs comes on over the speakers, so her and Amaya dance around for the line of people to watch. Once it ended, Amaya flew back to Andy. Lots of people came to see the dragon trio at the haunted house. One family even told the trio that they were from out of state, and they came just to see them as their little kids couldn't stop talking about them. Which makes sense, as the kids were no older than 7, and Preston, Andy, and Amaya are the first Dragon Masters and Dragon in 4 years. I'm pretty sure Caden, Shiro, and Ryluth came down to visit too. They probably stopped in closer to the end of the night so they could chat with the crew. But imagine those people at the end of the night getting to see 2 dragons. It was definitely a year to remember. Now, day 31 of Inktober is finished. Inktober 2021 is at a close. For now, I'll be posting regularly on Mondays, so yes, there's going to be a video tomorrow. It's the start of a 4-part mini-series on webcomics, and I'll be announcing my new webcomic tomorrow. I hope to see you there! Thank you all so much for walking through this Inktober journey with me. All of these videos are in a playlist for easy binging if you miss my stories about this crew of characters that have stolen my heart. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video or the video on the 29th where I take some of my favorite Inktobers from this month and color them. Comment down below what you think of anything you've heard so far or what you think of the crew's costumes. Have a happy and safe Halloween, everyone! Bye-bye!